It's about faith to believe. It's about hope to receive. It's about love to give life. It's about transplant life with me, Miss Vinnie. Today, I am honored to share the incredible story of double kidney transplant recipient William B.T. Taylor, a multi-talented actor and educator who was literally fighting for his life against chronic kidney disease until his loving wife, Valerie Taylor, said yes to organ donation and everything changed. And we are going to talk about it today. When were you first diagnosed with kidney disease? How did that happen? You told me 2003.
Yeah, about 2003. Like I was saying, I didn't know. I knew something was wrong because my cognitive thing was kind of off. Because my mind was being poisoned because it wasn't filtering out through the kidney. So I was slower. A lot of things were off. Then one day I was in a friend's house and my tongue got numb. I couldn't feel my tongue, and I said that. And then I went. He drove me to the hospital, and that's when I got diagnosed, and they sent me to another hospital because my insurance was kind of off, didn't cover it, and that's how I found out.
That's a cold-blooded way to find out, ain't it? You told me they sent you to Killer King. That's what
I went to Killer King. That's what they do.
Killer King. People from LA know about Killer King. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah. And I can see why they called it Killer King. Right after that, like a year after that, that's when they closed Killer King down for a while.
Yeah, they did for a while. They sure did. I remember doing my heart transplant journey after they reopened it. I had to walk out of there a couple of times, but that's another story. So they diagnosed you with kidney disease, and you were immediately put on dialysis?
I was immediately put on dialysis. It was the first day was the most hard experience that I ever had. But my body wasn't adjusting to the chemicals, and first fear, was like, what's going on? What's happening with me? And as I was telling you earlier, just to get the thing in your arm,
the fistula.
Yeah, fistula. And I should know that had it so long. Okay. The fistula in my arm, that was fear. I never had an operation since I was a kid. I haven't had an operation. So I'm rolled in this room, but like I was saying, it was almost like an angel came because I saw someone from my church that leaned over to me. They pushed me in this big white room, and I looked up, and this is before we got to the operating room, and she said, hey, and she talked to me a minute and said she was an anesthesiologist, and she told me she wasn't my anesthesiologist, but she told me that's going to be all right, that the doctor was great, the anesthesiologist there was fantastic, was her mentor, and that calmed me down, and that had started me on my journey.
You got angels all over the place, don't
you? Yeah, and that first day of actually getting dialysis was horrible. It made me throw up, and that like my whole guts was about to come out. That's the way it felt because it was just a bad situation because my body wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
It got better. It got better. Okay. But never where something I wanted to accept for the rest of my life.
Right.
Because
you were on dialysis for what, 10 years?
10 years. 10 years.
Every week.
And I was getting tired. I would never do anything to myself, but it felt like that. I was just tired of it. And that's when I got the phone call. Like, as I said, I do spiritual counseling. I was on the phone at 6 o'clock in the morning because I was counseling somebody in Louisiana, and the phone kept ringing once. I ignored it twice. I ignored it because not too many people call me at 6 o'clock in the morning. Then the third time I said, "Let me look at this," and it was a hospital. They said you got 3 hours to get down here.
Yeah.
Or they got to give the kidney to somebody else.
Wow.
And luckily, 2 blocks away from the hospital that Cedars-Sinai.
So let me get this right. You were counseling others.
Correct.
And you were working with the youth and everything at that
No,
time?
no, this is adults.
You were
I,
working with adults,
yeah,
helping others while
it-
you were on
yeah,
dialysis going through all of this.
yeah. I'm a man of service, and so I do a lot of different type of work, service work. But that was a healing type of thing where I listen, talk, and pray. You know,
See,
and
yeah,
so that I had a client.
yeah, that's powerful. You were sowing seeds into the lives of others, and you reaped the harvest in your own life when you got that kidney,
Amen.
that first kidney. That was in 2012, right?
Correct.
Okay, so how are you feeling after the first transplant?
I was feeling good. I was feeling good after the first transplant. I was back to. I never stopped dancing because I teach salsa and I dance salsa. But I didn't have to spend 3 hours 3 times a week on dialysis,
That
and
must have been a
it is the
relief.
day
Oh my God,
that
yeah.
you're so tired the day after, so I felt more free. It was a sense of freedom that I had once I got the transplant. We were able to travel, do some things, see people, hang out. You just love life.
Yeah,
Teach.
because you met your beautiful wife when you were on dialysis, right?
I did. I did, and that was a blessing that she kept me. Blessing.
Yeah, that is a blessing. We thank God for you, Valerie.
Amen.
So something happened along the way where that first kidney was causing you trouble. What happened?
Right. Not totally clear. They said was probably a thing, autoimmune thing that caused the kidney to act up again. Because and they said that's probably what happened the first time, which they told me then it was blood pressure that did, because it can have kidneys can fail if you don't take care of your blood pressure.
Yeah.
So you need to do that, everyone. Um, so they thought it was blood pressure at first. So it might be a combination. But right now, with this new kidney, they're not seeing any signs of immune disease of any kind.
So after that, your first kidney started to fail. You were back on dialysis.
I was back on dialysis, and I was working. I worked with Spirit Awakening, dealing with the youth, going to juvenile hall. So I worked in the daytime, and the program they had for night was 3 days a week, 6 hours, at a time, 6 hours a day. And so that was even a lot of time wasted. It's healing. Some is a blessing,
Yeah.
but I could be doing 3 hours,
Yeah.
but 6 hours because it was a night program. Um,
And it wasn't really healing.
no, it wasn't really. Yeah,
it was just keeping you
alive
in a kind of compromised way.
Yeah,
That's right.
which
That's right. That's
causes problems because it causes problems with your veins and all that in your legs and all over. It starts to contract from doing
Tell me about the
dialysis.
cramping. You mentioned something about cramping that I found was interesting because nobody
Oh,
ever told me that.
oh yeah, that's a big part of dialysis. They take a lot of fluid off of you,
Yeah.
and if they take too much, your body cramps. It's usually your leg and your feet, but if it's really too much, it almost like being electrocuted. You like almost can hardly talk. To say I'm cramping. And push the button to let them know to run over and take care of you, and they got to put more fluid back on your body.
That's a lot. You've been through a lot, my brother. So in 2024, just recently, you got your second kidney transplant.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Thanks to my beautiful wife.
Uh-huh. And so let's talk about that. How did that happen?
Well, the first time around, she offered a kidney. I turned it down because I didn't want anything to happen to her, thinking like that. Second time, she offered it again. I said, yes. You want to speak on that?
Well, we didn't know anything about the exchange program in the first time around, which is different because we have different blood types. So my impression was that I wasn't eligible to give you a kidney.
Right.
But then he told me about this exchange program, and I said, yeah, let's do that.
Let's talk about that because maybe some of our listeners don't know what the exchange program is. How does that work?
So it's when a couple is not compatible for donation, they can match with another couple. So I give a kidney to somebody, and then somebody else gives a kidney to him. In case there was 6 people having surgeries, and it was kind of set off by an altruistic donor.
Yeah, somebody just walked in.
Somebody just walked in and said, you know, I'm here.
Somebody just walked into the hospital and said, I want to donate a kidney.
Yeah.
Well,
basically,
yeah. They, you know, you just contact
volunteered. Yeah.
Cedars-Sinai.
Wow.
There's a you know, a screening process.
Yeah. And that's what
that
started the ball rolling for your kidney.
Right,
Yeah,
right. And several other people.
And several
Yeah.
other people. That's amazing.
It was incredible. And this was after 4 years of waiting and being in the program. And we'd pretty much given up hope because they told us initially, we joined in 2020.
6 months.
And then the pandemic hit, and so that put everything on hold for a minute, right?
The pandemic, and you know, so they said, well, it should be 3 to 6 months, and we just heard nothing. And then I started like calling and saying, what's going on? You know, what's the problem? And they were like, well, we don't know. Maybe it's because they said it was because, first they said it was because I was 60. I turned 60. And they thought that
you did not. What she say? You did not. Did you say 40? Yeah. You turned what?
So when I turned 60, they thought people, that kind of scared, because people want young kidneys because it gives them more longevity.
Right.
And so they thought that was the issue. And then I started having dodgy mammograms where they were kind of, what the terminology was on the reports was suspicious. So they thought that was scaring people off too. I might have cancer. Which I did
not.
No.
You said something very interesting on your GoFundMe page. You said that caregiving is fluid and flowing both ways at Casa Table. Typically, BT's challenges are physical, and I am the head case.
Yeah, you know, I'm more of a warrior. I don't have an innate sense of trust that he does, and just universal divine order. So I come hard on myself. It's different. So he's, you know, I've got like the best spiritual counselor
right there.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So you guys had surgery on the same day at the same time?
It was he was the night before, and I was the next morning. Yeah, it was amazing.
What was that like? That was incredible, right?
Yeah.
I was nervous when that day for her, because I didn't know what it was going to be like. She was excited. And she spent the night with me because she had to be there the next morning. So, you know, came out of the operation. She stayed over in my room, slept over, and then, you know, just walked out to her operation the next morning.
Wow. That's incredible. So you received a kidney from someone else, and her kidney went to another recipient. And you had to
correct.
It's like, you know, back to back like that.
Correct.
Yeah, so there were 6 people getting surgeries.
Those 2 days.
At the same time?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow. And this was at Cedars? I've been to Cedars so many times.
Because if somebody comes in from outside, it can create a chain. And they've said they've had chains up to like 13 people or something crazy, where, you know, it's like all these different cross-matching things happen.
Wow. Wow. So now you're a living donor hero. How does it feel?
I'm really excited for our new life. You know, that's mostly where I'm at. You know, I'm just excited.
What was your recovery like? That's what people want to know. Because there might be somebody out there who's considering becoming a living donor. What would you say to them?
Thinking about it. For me, it was really easy. I know everybody's different, but only thing, I had minor discomfort, incision discomfort for a few days. And after that, it was fine. My energy was great. They warned about fatigue, but I didn't have that. And yeah, I was up and about. I left the hospital in 2 days and just hung out with my.
How has this kidney transplant journey affected your relationship? How would you say that
I
it
I
affected your
think more like a team. We're like a team, you know. We're
Mm,
we're
relationship?
really
Stronger?
yeah. It's like, we're really doing this thing,
mm, mm. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's, if I have ever had any doubts of love that she
See,
gave me, and she always has, saved my life to me in many, many ways, besides physical. Um, it just showed, it just was a binding, a deeper binding, a bond
yeah,
of love
yeah,
and
that's
trust.
beautiful. Because I've talked to some couples and their relationships didn't survive their transplant journey. You'd be surprised. And so it makes you very special that you guys hung in there together and saw it all the way through. Someone asked a question. Antonio asked a question. Did the hospital take care of the cost?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't spend anything for this, and I actually got help from organizations. There's organizations that help donors with income replacement. I needed caregiving for 1 week, and they gave me money to fly my sister down. We got a hotel. I mean, it was amazing. They gave me money to pay for him to have a caregiver. Um,
So
so
was this through your own fundraising efforts or was it through grants?
it was
Both.
grants.
Mm-hmm.
Grants. For my part, it was grants from kidney donor assistance
Uh-huh.
organizations.
They
That's
take
beautiful.
care of the
Yeah,
donor.
Yeah.
they
Right?
do. Yeah.
If you have the information.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would love to have that information. We can share it on our website for others. Would you mind sharing that with me? And then we'll post it on the website. So make sure I get that, okay? So how are you
And like,
doing now? BT, what's going on?
first I was going to say, we're willing to talk to anyone that contacts us.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
good.
yeah,
Thank you.
I'm doing.
That's
I'm
powerful information. People need to have that,
right.
because there are ways, that you could get the help that you need, on this transplant journey. And so I'm really happy that that happened for you.
Mm-hmm. And we're blessed to have people assist us on a GoFundMe, and besides all the prayers that keep coming our way, they gift us, and that helped us out. I'm out of work for about 3-4 months, and so that helps a lot. Take care of some the edge off,
Yeah.
and the blessing, and pay some other bills that wasn't paid, hospital bills, and whatever was needed. But I'm doing better. I'm doing good. I'm feeling good, for the life. And, I just had some other little things that I'm taking care of. Prostate surgery next month because, the backup of the urine into the kidney, they got to take care of all that, keep the kidney safe. So just little things like that. Some people's mind is a big thing, but it's something that's kind of smoothing out.
Yeah. Yeah. But no
Mm-hmm.
more dialysis.
Oh Lord,
Yeah.
you know. Oh, I don't even have words for that one. No more
That's a
that.
blessing all by itself, ain't it?
I mean, I didn't hear what you said, but like 6 hours a day, 3 times a week, but the next day is worse because you're just tired.
Yeah.
Can't get out of bed. I go to work, but I had to force myself. Kind of really, I work with kids, so I had to have this energy. So I had to force myself to have these energies for these teenagers, you know.
And
And
none of the kids knew what you were going through, right?
somebody asked a
Uh-huh.
question: do I have 3 kids?
Yeah. Do you
I
have 3 kidneys now?
I have 4
They
kidneys
kept
now.
all of
They
them.
don't get rid of them unless you're rich.
Yeah. It's
Insurance won't pay for it. So, because you can live with it. So, if you're rich, you can pay for it yourself, or you got special kind of insurance. But I'm on Medi, so that doesn't pay for it.
You got 4 kidneys. Is your anatomy different? Can you feel them?
One of them I could feel because it's the first one that I got was really, really large. So, it protruded. It still protrudes. I got fat, so you can't tell us. But,
You got healthy. You got healthy now.
Healthy.
You got healthy.
I'm gonna get rid of some of that. You know.
So
But
did going through this the kidney disease and all of that and dialysis, does it affect your appetite?
my appetite is good.
All the way through, your appetite is good?
I'm not all the way through.
That's what I mean.
I think my appetite has always been good. Yeah, I like.
The only time he lost his appetite was after the first surgery, after the first
Oh
transplant.
yeah, the first transplant was hard.
It was really rough.
You know, I could hardly walk. You know, I was humbled. You know, my brother really had to take care of me, teach me how to walk a little bit, get me walking, clean me up, which was really humbling. You know,
Yeah, no. I've
my
been
little
through that. Yeah.
up. I said, dang, because she was working, so he flew in to help with that at that first. But the second surgery, we was expected it to be like the first, and thank God it wasn't that hard.
Yeah, no,
As hard as the first.
Good. And so you've been a caregiver as well as his living donor. Talk about that, Valerie.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly taking care of the medication and driving him to the appointments and making good food and just being around, But it's not difficult,
Yeah, because he's on immunosuppressants now, just like me.
Oh, yeah, but I'm at the beginning stage. You're on a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm on like 20 different medications, and most of them are multiple. So maybe like 40 pills, a day.
Wow. Do you have to take tacrolimus program?
Say that again.
That's one of the anti-rejection medications. Do you take program? Because that gives you the shakes.
Yeah. I'm trying to. Can't wait for them to reduce that.
Are you getting the shakes in your hands and your legs?
I'm getting the shakes in my hands. That's
what
I'm
frustrating for a man who makes jewelry, right?
Yeah. It didn't get bad where I can't make jewelry, but I could, if I'm pick up a fork or pick up something, I can just see the shaking, And I wanted to reduce that, and they probably, plus, it helps. You get the moon phase.
The prednisone. You take prednisone?
What you say?
Too?
I take prednisone too. Yeah.
Yeah. I know all about that.
Oh
stuff,
yeah,
right?
and it gives diabetes. The prednisone.
I know.
The program.
And maybe
yeah, I know. I deal with that too. Yeah. But you know what? The blessing is we're alive. We're here with our family, and it's trading one situation for another, but they're manageable. We just have to really focus on our health and take care of ourselves and be compliant, take our medication, right? Mm-hmm. And it gets better, the shakes will get better. You'll have this surgery next month and you'll be all better and stronger than ever. And we're going to make sure that we pray for you. And trust me, I understand the challenges that come with transplant life. It's not easy, and a lot of people don't make it through, William. So, you are truly blessed because a lot of people can't handle the stress. They can't handle, they freak themselves out. That's why I tell everybody, you need a strong foundation in faith and prayer to make it through this journey. You really, really do. Yeah. And so, and that's the message that we always want to share with people. And what advice would you give to Black men in particular on taking care of their health after all you've been through?
Get checked out by doctors. Get checked out at least once or twice a year. Now, a diagnosis doesn't mean you have to follow their prognosis, but you need to find out what the core thing is. Right. Herbs and stuff help, but you got to get in there early for that. So if you wait, and I'm not going to doctor go, and then when it's too late, anything alternative is probably not going to help you at all. So get checked out. And we're afraid of doctors or not trustworthy of doctors. And we got the history to show why. Yeah. So I'm not saying, but get checked out. Find a doctor you trust, the hospital you trust, or at least go in and find out what the diagnosis is. Right. Then you find out with the prognosis.
And even if you're not feeling anything, because, like things like blood pressure don't always you know.
You don't always know your blood pressure.
No,
Yeah.
That's right.
you don't know. You don't know if you have diabetes.
Right.
You know, you don't know until it's too late.
Right.
You know, get checked out is so important.
It is.
It give you maybe 30 years of your life back. You know, get checked out.
So is that something that you procrastinated on getting checked out, or?
I didn't trust. You know, didn't trust. You know, so I procrastinated on that. Even had, you know, some doctors that I just didn't trust. And when I found out, like I told you before, I went to Killer King, and I definitely didn't trust them.
Oh, we don't trust Killer King. But, you know, they've done, you know, they made some improvements over there.
I know they did.
Thank
You
God.
know, down for a while.
Yeah.
They got certification back, you know, so they're better.
Yeah, yeah. But that is very important to get checked out. Absolutely. And how about you, Valerie? What have you learned along this journey with your amazing husband, William?
Well, it was very worth it. I mean, there's no question about what I went through, and if it's the quality of life, it's just like such a gift. It's a gift for me, you know, to be with that, you know, new life.
Why would you say that?
Because, you know, he's my partner, and how he feels, like, you know, it's just, it makes our life better together.
Yeah.
Things together. We could walk, you know, travel, you know, go out to eat, go, you know, do things together.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not tired, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it helps. It's a blessing.
But I mean, it's for what is gained. It's a small gesture. I mean, it seems like a big deal, but now I know that, you know, for what you get out of it, it's amazing.
Yeah, the quality of life is so much better, right?
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who was considering becoming a living donor? What would you say, Valerie?
I would encourage it, you know. I mean, talk to different people and go into Cedar, you know, or whatever center, and just talk to people there, because they'll give you all the information.
Absolutely.
And you get the best checkup of your life, right?
Oh, you?
Yeah.
If you ever want a free physical, from the rooter to the tutor, then you
Right.
go to, right? They check everything.
Yeah, and get on the donors list. Get on the donors list. You'll be helping somebody.
Yeah.
You know, you won't need your organ anymore. You know, when you know, move on. Get on the donors list. You'll save a life or many lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, some people have different religious beliefs that keeps them from doing that. That's all right. I'm not saying, but if you want to help somebody, you know, and send some love to somebody, like a whole family.
You can save lives, soul lives. You know, that's amazing.
You know,
amazing thing.
Help people see, help people live with a new heart. You know, and I had him on, the guy that had the face.
My friend Robert Chelsea, he was on my program. He had a full face transplant. Correct. Yes, isn't that incredible? So I am so grateful that you got your new kidney and you're on your way to recovery, and you're going to be stronger than ever, and you're going to be able to help more people. And we just thank God for you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you. You know, we've been given so much, you know, that we have to give back, right? You
Absolutely.
know, everything that we go through in life is not just about us. It's about us helping somebody else. I strongly believe that. And if you've been through a journey and you fought your way out, you know, I think you're obligated to help somebody else out of that same situation. So that's why we started About Transplant Life, because I never want anyone to go through the fear and, you know, the worry, you know, and the pain of going through this journey, you know, when they don't have to. Right. You know, you feel like you're alone sometimes, but we're never alone. The Lord is always with us, and He always brings us through these valleys. We just have to trust Him, right? So thank you so much. Thank you, Valerie. I want to know your beauty secrets, because you have beautiful skin and you don't look like that number you told me at all.
And then